Alright, so this is my 2014 Evo 10. I got it in 2018, so it was 4 years old. It had 10,000 miles on it. It now has like 105,000, somewhere around there. And it's going to be my Woolwax review. I started coating it, well, I bought the car in 2018, February. I drove it through that winter and I started coating it in 2019. So it's been coated probably 4 times, I'm guessing, since then. Probably 19, 20, 21. I think I skipped a year. 22, 23, somewhere in there. I didn't coat it last year because I moved. I'm definitely coating it again this year since I have my lift to my garage now. But I'm going to show you what this thing looks like underneath. Get my stool here. So this car had obviously been driven for a couple years in the winter before I got it, even though it only had 10,000 miles on it. This is basically the only rust that it has, and it's very, very light surface rust. I actually scraped back, you can see like here how greasy and stuck on the Woolwax is, but I scraped some of it back just to show you guys what it looks like underneath. This is very, very light surface rust on the subframe. You can still see the original OEM black coating that's on the frame in some spots there, but there's only a couple spots like on the bottom of the rear subframe that really have any rust on them at all, and it's super minor. Like I said, I've driven this car every winter since I've gotten it, and I've put over 90,000 miles on it, and honestly it is pretty mint for a car that gets driven in the winter every year. You can see a little bit more up there. There's some very light surface rust. I was scraping back because I'm getting ready to coat it again this year. That yellowy stuff is the raw Woolwax color. But pretty much the rear subframe is the only thing, a little bit there on the fuel tank, but the only thing that has any real, I guess you could say, rust on it. But I mean, compare this to any car that's been driven for 11 years in the winter, and those cars will be pretty much totaled, rotted out at this point. But this car has tons of life left in it. I'll show you some other spots here. So these are the fuel lines. They're totally coated in grease. There's nothing, no moisture or anything getting to those. You can see up in the body here, perfectly clean. Coated inside of it all with Woolwax. The only other spot on the body that has a little bit of rust, I did some body repair, had it repainted on this side, and I think they just probably didn't do a great job of prepping it. So this is the only spot on the actual body of the car that has rust. This is the pinch weld on the driver's side, but very, very minimal, very minor. I'm just gonna, I scraped it back. I'm just gonna coat over it again, give it a nice thick coat, and just send it, honestly, because this is my winter car, as much as people don't really want to believe that, or they don't like me for it. Evo 10 is amazing in the winter. This is the frame rail on the passenger side. This is the front subframe. The front subframe has a plastic shield that goes over it, so it doesn't really get much exposure, but it is fully coated inside. Let's see if you can see inside of there. Fully coated inside with Woolwax. I mean, some light minor rust here. I scraped this back. This is where the undershield mounts onto the subframe, but just very, very light surface rust. Again, fuel lines here, drive shaft. The stock downpipe is about to rot out, but you can't really undercoat a downpipe. It gets too hot. But I mean, overall, this car looks amazing. You can see here, like behind the front wheels, it likes to wash off right here, so I got to get a nice thick coat on this area here. But I mean, after a year or two of it not being coated, it's still stuck on there really well and protects it really well. So yeah, that's just a quick overview of using Woolwax on my car basically every year. I'd recommend coating it every year if you can. It is kind of a pain in the ass if you don't have a lift, but I'm set up now so I can actually do this every year, and probably keep driving this car for the rest of my life, honestly, if I can. The rear suspension, I still have the factory struts. These are the OEM struts. 11 years old, 100,000 miles. No rust on them. You can see the front of these control arms. I mean, that's like right where everything's gonna get blasted with salt and snow and everything. And they have some very light surface rust on them, but any car that's this old and has been drifting at all is gonna have that. The axles are still in good condition. The drive shaft is not rusty at all. I mean, again, super light surface rust. Let me show you the front struts. These are also the OEM Mitsubishi factory struts with over 100,000 miles on them. No rust. The oil pan is probably the worst of it because I never really coated that before until now. So I'm probably gonna have to replace the oil pan at some point, but you know, that's not a big deal. I can buy one of those and slap it on and she's gonna be brand new. But yeah, just a quick overview of what your car can look like if you properly take care of it and coat it with Woolwax or fluid film or surface shield or any type of lanolin based undercoating. I guess I just want to follow up by saying that if I hadn't used any product like this, if I hadn't used Woolwax, this car would be probably totaled at this point. It would be, the rear subframe would totally be rusted through, like it would be trashed. I live in Michigan, so they definitely use a lot of salt on the roads, and cars just rust here. I see cars that are 1, 2, 3 years old that already have rust on the quarter panels. I have no exterior surface rust. I mean, the front fenders are aluminum on this car, so that's not a good example, but there's no rust anywhere back here. Like, I'm getting ready to coat the back side of the car, but yeah, if I hadn't used anything like this, this car would be screwed. So I am 100% endorsing using Woolwax. Coat your car. Coat it every year. Mine would probably look better if I had coated it every year, but I definitely skipped a few years because it's not easy to do it when you're doing it on the ground. It's definitely easier when you have a lift, but it's not impossible. If you get some 6-ton jack stands, lift your car up, lay on the ground, get a good air compressor. I got that 30-gallon boy over there. Even if you have to use the spray cans, highly recommend it. If you want to keep your car for a long time, obviously I like this car and it freaking rips in the snow, so 100% use Woolwax, get your car coated every year, and you'll be able to drive it for a long, long time.